Think like a giant, live like a master.
You don't lack self-discipline. Your problem is that you're trying to fix undisciplined behaviors the completely wrong way. This video will show you how to hack your brain motivation and start building a system that makes you act, even on the days when you want to stop procrastinating but feel exhausted. Think about it. Why do you easily wake up at 5 a.m. for a boss you might not even like, but you sleep through the alarm for the projects you want to build for yourself? Have you ever noticed that it's infinitely easier to follow an external request than an internal one? When someone gives an order, you execute. If your boss sets the deadline and the pressure, you wake up early. You might complain, but you show up on time. Now, notice what happens with procrastination when the order comes from within. On Monday, I'm starting the gym. You don't start. Next week, I'll figure out how to stop being lazy. You don't. This year, I'm finally launching my business. The year goes by, and the plan is still sitting in a drawer. So, here's the uncomfortable question. Why do you follow other people's orders flawlessly, but ignore your own? Why do you help build someone else's dream, yet treat your own like it's optional? If you're wondering how to be disciplined and stop procrastinating, this video will show you that you don't need fleeting discipline motivation or toxic productivity hacks. Most people grow up believing discipline is a personality trait, something some have and others don't. But almost everyone has already proven they can do it. You are probably one of them. Let's see. Do you meet deadlines at work? Do you follow rules in public spaces? Do you handle pressure? So the problem isn't doing what must be done. The problem is sustaining it when no one is watching. And there's a very clear reason for that. Your brain wasn't designed for habit building, long-term goals, or doing something today that only pays off months from now. It was designed to survive today. It was designed to conserve energy, seek quick pleasure, and avoid discomfort. That's not an opinion. That's biology. When you try to rely purely on willpower or motivation, you're fighting against the way your brain works. That's why you can start, but you can't sustain it. If you want to change your habits, you must remember, this isn't about strength. It's about structure. Now, let's make something clear. It is not that your brain is playing against you. It just doesn't want to spend energy on productivity that doesn't deliver instant results. It wants you to conserve energy. For most of human history, wasting energy meant death. Running without necessity meant death. Exposing yourself unnecessarily meant death. Those who conserved energy survived. So the brain learned something simple. Avoid effort. Seek quick rewards. Choose the easier path. That same brain is still inside you. That's why when you try to build habits for long-term results, it is hard to keep the consistency. For example, scrolling social media requires zero effort, but it's instant dopamine. On the other hand, going to the gym requires effort and might take months to change your body. Eating well requires effort, and it doesn't change your weight in just one day. Working on your business requires effort and doesn't bring a fortune on the same day. And your brain doesn't think 6 months ahead. It thinks now. I want comfort. I want pleasure. I want to spend as little energy as possible. Here's the key point. Your brain isn't just rational, it's efficient. It doesn't choose the best long-term path. It chooses the path that hurts least right now. And that choice happens before you even realize you've made it. If you try to overpower your brain with sheer force, it will beat you with fatigue. That's why motivation works for a while and then disappears. So the right question isn't, how do I force my brain to be disciplined? It is, how do I make the right path the easier one for my brain? That's where systems come in. This is the solution for you. Ever wonder why you wake up ready to conquer the world, but by 8 p.m. you're scrolling on the couch, avoiding your goals? Stop blaming your lack of drive. The real problem is the system you are living with. Every single choice you make throughout the day drains your mental battery. What to wear, what to eat, what to prioritize. This is called decision fatigue, and it's secretly destroying your productivity hacks. Early in the day, your personal development goals feel solid. Today, I'll train. Today, I'll study. Today, I won't fall into the same traps. But as the day goes by, problems appear. Fatigue builds. And when energy drops, the brain takes control. Not to sabotage you, but to protect you. It pulls you back to autopilot, to the familiar, to the easy path. Not because you're weak, but because you're tired. And here's the classic self-improvement mistake. Promising that tomorrow you'll just try harder, that you'll have more self-discipline. But without changing the system, do you really think the next day will be different? Will you just try to squeeze out more motivation? That might work for a day, but fatigue always wins eventually. If discipline depended purely on strength, no one would sustain it long term. Discipline depends on systems. It depends on how you designed your environment. Your environment decides before you do. If your workout clothes are buried in a drawer, your sneakers are somewhere in the car, it's cold, and the couch is 3 steps away, the decision has already been made. This isn't a battle between right and wrong. It's a battle between easy and hard. And the brain always chooses what requires less effort. Between watching a video like this one, where you need to spend energy to pay attention and learn, or scrolling on Instagram Reels, what do you think your brain will choose after a long day at work? This is the daily battle between comfort and growth, between the easy path and the hard path. And if you don't control your environment, the easy path wins every time. That's why you want content like this to meet you halfway. Instead of wasting energy searching for good self-improvement and productivity videos, subscribe to this channel so videos like this show up in your feed automatically. Make the right choice, the easy choice. Small steps that help you to create good habits are the key. If junk food is in the house, you'll eat it. Your goal is to follow a diet, so don't buy the foods that aren't on your list. It's much harder to eat junk if you have to get dressed, go out, and spend time and money to find it. Another example? If your phone is buzzing on your desk, you'll check it. You want deeper focus and better productivity while you work or study. So turn off social media notifications and mute every non-important app during that time. Make distraction harder to access. You get the point. Discipline is environment design. The more you rig your environment for success, the less willpower you need to stay consistent. Disciplined people don't constantly fight themselves. They prepare the environment in advance. If you make the right behavior the easier pathway, you don't need to convince yourself every day. There is also another good point to consider when creating systems for your environment. Autopilot. Around 45% of what you do every day is an automatic habit, not a conscious choice. You don't debate brushing your teeth or checking your phone in the morning, you just do it. That's the real power of habit building. The mistake most people make when trying to apply discipline in their routine is trying to create new routines from scratch instead of using habit stacking. This is a real discipline trick. The idea here is to attach a new habit to one that already exists in your daily routine. For example, after you stop the alarm in the morning, sit on the bed and say your goals out loud. While eating breakfast, read one page of a book. While driving to work, listen to a learning podcast or a productivity video. While your food is heating up in the microwave, use those 2 minutes to do some stretching. You're not deciding when to start. The start is built in because it's linked to something you already do. Starting is the hardest part. If studying requires digging materials out of your backpack, clearing a messy desk, ignoring your phone, and committing to a full hour, your brain will resist. Lower the cost of starting, and resistance drops. So instead of asking, "Am I motivated?" ask, "Is this easy to start?" If it's not easy, the problem isn't you. It's the environment you have set up. And here's another myth. You don't need to love the process. Almost no one loves waking up early or training every single day. Disciplined people don't feel like it all the time. They just built a system where action happens even when motivation doesn't. You don't love brushing your teeth, but you do it every day. Why? Because it's automatic. You don't win in the morning. You win the night before. Discipline isn't doing what you enjoy. It's reducing friction so much that the right action becomes the default. And eventually, this becomes identity. At the end of the day, your daily actions simply follow the image you have of yourself. If you see yourself as undisciplined, every failure just becomes proof. But every small action you take, 2 minutes of reading, 1 page of studying, watching a personal growth video, sends a completely different message to your brain. I am the kind of person who does what needs to be done. Those 2 minutes count. That 1 page counts. Because true self-improvement and discipline aren't about transforming your results overnight. It's about building success habits that reinforce who you are becoming. Discipline comes with your identity, and identity is built through repetition. You don't just wake up with unbreakable self-discipline. You accumulate small pieces of evidence until your new reality becomes undeniable. When you experience a true identity shift, discipline stops being a daily fight. It becomes a natural consequence of who you are and the environment you are in. Now that you learned how to bring discipline to your life, how exactly do you change your identity so that doing the hard work feels effortless? How do you build identity-based habits that permanently rewire how you see yourself? That's exactly what I'm breaking down in next week's video. Hit subscribe so you don't miss it, and I'll see you then.